Hello guys and welcome back to the Maple Leaf channel. You're watching Science Cities episode 20 of Workers and Resources Soviet Republic. Today's goal is to complete the planning of the second half of the city and continue building rail infrastructure at the same time. Thank you those who put their feedback to the previous episode about the format. I will definitely take that advice into account. As always guys, if you're enjoying the content, consider dropping a like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much in advance for that. Without further ado, let's go to the gameplay. First off, our bridge is done and it's time to connect the highway to the city. Let's do that first. I will need to build a roundabout somewhere over here. This remains the most effective method of traffic control, well, at least at this scale of the city. So let me quickly build that one. We need to extend the road which will mimic the main one, and from memory the middle-sized roundabout must have a radius of 4 squares. So let me free up a little bit of space for myself here so that I can have it for construction, and from the center it goes 1, 2, 3, 4. At the same level with the road nearby, and all we need to do is take off the snapping and our roundabout is almost ready. Now let's remove these sections and connect the remaining ones. 1 and 2. And this node shouldn't be here either. A road from the north doesn't want to snap here, but that's fine. And road from the south. I guess same deal, yep. Workers and resources remains to be workers and resources. Nothing is easy to build. Nothing is easy to connect, I should say. That's alright. Doesn't bug me too much, and I will probably pay very little attention to that area over here. To keep the main street looking sharp and uniform, we will mirror the left side, 4 identical apartment blocks forming a big straight bracket. Inside the country yard with kindergarten, playground and a little fontaine for that classic Soviet touch. So let me quickly build those. In the previous episode we did use large buildings from this section, and let me find it. I think that was that building over here. Yeah, it is. Okay, now I need to leave some space for pedestrian paths and position that building correctly so that it does align with the district on the left hand side. 1 here, 2 horizontal buildings like so, 1, 2, and 1 more vertical like that. Alright, so kindergarten is going to be in the middle of that residential area, and I think I placed it in the wrong way. Yes, I actually did place it in the wrong way. That building should be in line with this one, not vice versa. And that's alright. We can do that, and it will actually be even easier. So one goes like so, the other one next to it, and 2 more buildings. Done. I was talking about the kindergarten. So kindergarten is going to be in the middle of that district because I reckon some of those people will go to this side of the road and then will leave the kids at the kindergarten, which is over here. And let me quickly find it. I'm going to go with the small one, and I don't mind having it right in the middle. I'm just thinking about the exits that I want this kindergarten to have, so I can lay a nice looking pedestrian road paths. So right in the middle, like that. And let me just quickly connect pedestrian paths over here. And I'm gonna use snapping. Let's see what we will get. That's actually not that bad. Let me just first see if I can do a little bit of a trick here. I can, absolutely, and that's good. So let's just do that again. Turn, and then we should be able to connect it from the middle to this exit over here. Doesn't want me to do so. Let me try again and move that kindergarten slightly to the south. There we go. This is what I wanted. On the left hand side, I will leave the opportunity for kids to play. And we're gonna go with a small playground on the left. And a little fountain on the right hand side, which will form some sort of a recreational area so that people can have a rest, have a walk around. There we go. We have a small clinic on the other side of the district, so I plan to have another one which will be positioned in this area. So those two will be able to cover most of the buildings within walking distance, and if need be, the clinic will have an exit to the main road, and then it will be able to send cars to whenever the people need them. Let's finish that area here. 1, 2. Probably just make it straight like that and then connect it. There we go. And the clinic itself should be able to fit in here. Yeah, there it is. I reckon if I position it somewhere over here, then the whole area which is close to the roundabout will be able to reach it by walk. This in turn will decrease the complaints of ambulance not arrived and things like that. Alright, so this block is complete. Now behind the residential walls come all the services. Just up is a big supermarket. I'm gonna go with the one that can serve 180 customers over here, so that if the city grows left, right, I don't need to rebuild that area. And because I'm gonna go with this supermarket positioned on the right hand side, a lot of people will be walking from one area to another, creating a very high dense pedestrian traffic. And I think I might have a solution to let them do that safely without playing froggy on the road. And there's a nice building which I like to use, which is called Pedestrian overpass. It's a little bit weird one, because every time you try to position it and align with the grid, it never goes right. And let me give it a go. Now, this overpass will have an extension, and that extension will be connected to the pedestrian road over here and over here. It will be a big, nice overpass like you would see nearby the railroads, which takes people over the rail tracks. Let me see if I can align it and then connect it. There we go. This is one. And I'm gonna do the same on all 4 sides. First off, we will need the one which goes across the road. Like that. You can probably see that the arrows, they're not aligned with the grid for some reason. Probably this asset didn't have much of love when it was developed. And now we're gonna go with this connection, and I'll do exactly the same on the right hand side. One and another one, like that. Let me see if we can lay down the pedestrian paths, and yes we can. Of course they're not going to be 100% aligned, but this area will become a big junction for pedestrians. They will be able to reach the supermarket, which will live over here, from all the corners of the city. And as you know, supermarket is a very important place that needs to be reached by the pedestrians. You can do it through the bus station. Of course, it is possible. You can do it by organizing the public transport for your city, but because I'm aiming for about 2,000 people for this city, I want the supermarket to be within a walking distance. And we're gonna go with our typical layout, which will include storages, and it will also include road cargo loading and unloading stations. Alright, let me see if we can squeeze it somehow without causing too much of a disturbance to our pedestrian paths here. I think that will work. Let me just take out this piece of pedestrian path and see whether we can squeeze the road here. Yep, we can, and now we can connect our pedestrian paths back. Of course, there is a node missing, but we will fix that in a second. All we need to do is just to create one node for ourselves over here and then connect pedestrian paths. Now, I was talking about the storages, so yes, we will need a storage and we will need a fridge. Now, fridge is going to be on the right hand side. It will have the road facing to the right, something like that, and we're gonna get just a small storage, which is this guy here, the basic one. And I want this road to be facing to the right. Now, cargo loading unloading station is the one that I like to use. It works amazing and never failed me down. Now, let's do the roads again. I should probably remove that section first. Then do the same. Alright, and we're missing one node right in the middle, which we will create in a second. 1, 2, 3. Now we should be good to go. Right, okay. Going next, what we also need here. I was talking about the utilities, and one of the utilities is definitely a bus stop. So I think the best position for the bus stop will be in this area. And the reason for that is I'm gonna lay the road which will lead to the back of the industrial zone, right over there. And the bus will have easy times getting in, taking people, getting out, which will form a very short route, which in turn will allow me to supply workers without any delay. So let's go ahead and see what bus station we may squeeze in here. It's definitely going to be a platform, not a station, and the one that I like using is this one here. So if I place it next to this road, we should be able to connect our pedestrian paths. Yes, we can. And then we will need to have a road which goes outside. Well, in this case scenario, it goes actually in. So before I forgot, let me lay down the side road, which will form the right-hand side area of the city. And there is enough space for pedestrian paths, that's good. And let's drag that road right now. Like that. Do we want to have another exit? So this is our storage, and the storage will be filled through the loading station. Let me see if I can squeeze a small road over here. I might not be able to, because I will need to leave some space for pedestrian paths, so probably a road like that. And knowing it will cause an issue to the pedestrian paths, I will create a node right now, and same goes for this road over here. Okay, now let's just check. Can we connect everything? Yes, we can. Brilliant. What else do we need for this city? Well, to be honest, there are quite many things, including water, including heating, but let's focus on the basic needs, such as the fire station, probably police station, water treatment plant, prison, courthouse, and orphanage. I know that orphanage works for the whole map, and I have one in the first city, but I'll make another one over here, so that orphanage will take those people that live in this city. And let me quickly check the notifications. I have a few projects under construction, and I just don't want these guys to sit still. So we've built train calling station, and we've built electrical connections. Okay, so now we can start importing electricity if we need to. And yes, we need that electricity. Let me just start importing it. So once these buildings have electricity connected to them, I should be able to start supplying all the materials. And the reason I'm doing it right now, in the middle of the planning, is because I want this area to be built as soon as I can, so that I can start piling up the resources in both of these storages and can move that temporarily construction guys to the places where they're gonna live here and there. And they will start working on this area, so that multiple things will be happening at the same time while we're busy with the planning. Alright, so you guys just need track construction train set, which is understandable, and I need a bunch of these resources. Let me check first, do I need to have prefab for this era of rail construction? Gravel, steel, boards, that's what we need. We don't even need bricks. Okay, interesting. Then what we're gonna need a couple of distribution offices, and these guys will live somewhere over here. Let me quickly add a couple. So we will need a distribution office for covered holes and for dumpers. So we're gonna need open holes, 1, 2, and 1 covered hole. This is guy here, same car, the big one, whereabouts you are, there we go. And here we will have dumpers to deliver gravel, 1, 2. We will also need water, so I will need to build a road depot where the water system will live. Let me buy those. That's a waste track, water system, amazing. By the way, those guys will still need to deal with waste, so I'll need to have a technical offices as well. 1 system, probably 2 systems should be enough. Okay, these guys will need to start bringing materials, and these are open and covered holes. So go to the customs, buy me steel, buy me boards, buy me components, and then unload everything at the rail construction office. Surely I will need workers for that. I'm gonna deal with them by buying them from the customs, though there are not that many waiting to be employed, but we will deal with that later. Now the dumpers, you guys gonna go to the customs. I want you to load gravel and coal and unload both materials at the rail construction office. Now cisterns, water cisterns, there we go. I've got water loading unloading station, so this is what I'm gonna use. Load water at the customs. The quality of water will be 100% because we're buying it. And now I should be able to press the start of the route once the truck is back to the depot. There we go. Copy. Control click on his brother. And off you guys go. Let's see. we are piling up a little bit of our resources, so I'll probably enable about 40 workers. Oh, yes, I completely forgot. First off, I need to build a disassembled track layer, which will lay these tracks to the customs, and only then I will be able to switch on this building completely. Okay, so I've got road depot. I will need an open hull, and I'm gonna go with Maz. I'm sure I will find the use for that car later on. Construction offices, what are you doing? You're doing nothing. Okay, that's not good. This building is not connected to the power supply. Oh, that's because I have these electrical substations over here. Okay. Alright, well, as I said in the previous episode, I'm gonna have my own power produced locally. So these temporarily connections will go away quite soon. And we need an underground. Now we made our construction offices a little bit busy than they are. So once this built, the coaling station will become online and the trains will be able to refuel themselves, which is good. Depot doesn't require anything, which is also good. And let me see if my open hull arrived. It's on its way. Amazing. Probably make a connection here so that those cars can use actually concrete roads to drive. So now we need to procure disassembled mechanism, and this guy here, just need one, and tell our truck to pick it up from customs and deliver it to rail construction office. Alright, let me babysit it for a couple of minutes. I just want to make sure that everything is okay and I can start construction here. Water is coming, that's good. We've got water tower here, it's slowly filling up, which is also amazing. Everything aligns nicely, which is what we need. There we go. Now, with regards to the waste, I will have a small container over here somewhere, so that people that work there don't get sick. And do exactly the same. Now, we've got this mechanism, now we can assign amount of workers, and we need... Oh, it's maximum 8 workers. That's amazing. Let me find the buses. Oh, these are the buses from construction office. I need to buy buses which will bring foreign workers first. Which one do I go with? I'm gonna go with 3 of this. I'm very glad that at this point in the game everything is actually going sensibly faster than it was going at the very beginning. The cars move faster, capacity is higher, so we're gonna build this quite quickly, guys. Right, our buses arrived and they're quite big. We now have only 8 spots for workers. The capacity will definitely be an overkill, but I'm pretty sure I can live with that for now. So pick up workers and then unload them over here. Meanwhile, this section, and this section, please. Okay, and our bus is on its way. Meanwhile, let's build one technical office, which will look after the garbage. Need a waste track with small container platform. And that's gonna be you. And one with large container platform. Increase the radius, and that should do it. I'm gonna spend some money on buying those workers, I guess. Alright, well, I think these guys are now have something to do, in particular to build these railroads. Once it's done, and I want to know when it will be done, we will come back to this area and we'll procure a proper track layers. Now, to keep our guys busy in this section here, I will probably connect that road like so, and we'll start commissioning this area slowly but surely. 1, 2. Once this road is built, they will have access to these buildings, and while I'm doing the planning, they will be doing construction, which is good. What's the speed of that guy? Oh, it's actually 4. Yeah, that will take a bit of a time. I almost forgot how slow the basic ones are. So where we were at the bus station, and we've built a couple of buildings, and there's much to be done here in this area, so let's not waste our time and continue building. Now, behind the bus stop there will be a residential area which will feed our utilities buildings, such as water treatment plant, police, fire station. During one of my streams there was a gentleman who actually put that advice, and very good one. So, what do we have? We have this area. I want to check whether it is in a close proximity to the heating plant, so that people will not complain about pollution. And this is the heating plant, and it is roughly 600 meters. Minus the percentage, I think it's 15%, which filters block. I think I should be pretty safe if I'll position residential buildings over here. Now, I want to have a few of small residential buildings, so we're gonna go with these guys here. Can we squeeze 2 like that? Or shall we probably put them on the outskirts of the city? Nah, that won't do it. Let me try and see if we have enough space. We really don't have, so what I'm gonna do, I will probably take that road and I'll move it to 1 square to the right. And this road will leave... I'll go with the concrete. It is easier to see. Like that. And now we should be able to put the same building on the right hand side. Delete that, and let me see if we can get it. Yeah, now we can. Okay, so I'm gonna go with a few. We don't need too much space in between. Something of 1.5 square distance should be enough. Now we have this empty space in front of it, and this empty space can be occupied by our small well, or big water well I should say. So this guy needs an access, and one of the buildings will be dedicated to the few utilities buildings. We're missing fire station, we're missing water treatment plant. Which one will go first? Since we are in the water tab, let's go and see where the water treatment plant is. There we go. Yeah, I don't mind having it here. I will lay down the pipes in a nice way. Somewhere over here the pump will go, so that's fine. Another one is police. Unlike in previous city, I will probably build a big one straight away. The phase 2 of that city, which will be situated over here, will require a lot of police officers. So why not just building the big police station straight away? Especially when we are not really limited with the resources. Let me see if we have enough space. Yeah, we have enough space. Probably move it just ever slightly. Yeah, that distance should be okay, I guess. And we're gonna go with the police station and the same proximity from the road. There we go. Now, these guys should be able to walk to both of these and work there. And this is exactly my intention for this area. Fire station. Fire station needs access to the main road, which is these roads around the city. So why don't we just build a fire station next to water treatment plant? And let me see whereabouts that building is. I'm gonna go with the big one. The reason is I want enough firefighters to look after this area and industrial zone as well, instead of building few small ones. We already have connection like that. Why don't we just have this building to be facing to the right? Yep. And the road can go... that doesn't look right. Let me just extend it slightly. Alright, that's also fixable. There we go. Sweet. So this district is for low quality workers. They will be definitely busy working in these areas. I mean, there are officers required at the police station, I get that, but majority of them will be busy working here. Now, every time you place the police station will start working on the cases, and we're gonna need courthouse and we're gonna need a prison. And how about having prison somewhere over here, since it is already somewhat utilities area? Let me see how it fits. And there we go, prison. Prison could be at the outskirts right over here, within walkable distance for our workers over here. Alright. Now, pedestrian paths should be relatively easy to lay. Well, should be, but they are not, and that's alright. We'll take that part of the road and we will create a node and do like that. Sweet. Now, once the pedestrian paths are here, I'm pretty sure everyone will be within the reach of all of these buildings. What do we also miss? We miss orphanage and courthouse. So, and I also removed clinic from this area. So before I forgot, I'll add small clinic. It was somewhere here, if I remember correctly, and I will align this building with the main street, like so. And we will have pedestrian paths all around the block. Actually, there's the part of the road that is missing, and we should be able to connect it. Nah, never works, but that's alright. There we go. Now it's all aligned and perpendicular. Okay, small clinic and orphanage. Orphanage is in the children section. I'm gonna go with the small one. I mean, it works well in my first city. I don't really see a reason why would I need to build a bigger one. And do we want to have it facing Main Street or like that? We will need to supply utilities such as meat and clothes to this building, so why don't we just have an access, the road access for the orphanage over here. Alright, we're missing a couple of things here. One of them is school, and the other one of them is sports enjoyment facility, which is the indoor pool. So I think if I put the school right in the middle of that area, it will work fine, and everybody will be within the reach. We do need schools so that we can educate our workers, which will migrate from abroad and from our other parts of the Republic. So how about we will put it right in front of the House of Culture, and then we should be able to lay some nice pedestrian paths. One on this side, one on this side. Wrap it around, connect this and that. Now, I'm pretty sure these guys will not be able to go there unless I will lay additional pedestrian road right in the middle and then give them an opportunity to actually intersect the road in here, because it will be quite lengthy pathway to go all the way back and then to this area. So one road in the middle, and then nice footpaths for these guys. And I also have enough space for the garbage containers, which is fine. Let me connect one building just for the sake of testing. So if I go with this path like so, and give them an opportunity to cross this road here. Yep, the school is within reach, which is good, as well as the supermarket, which is in the far corner. And now if we put sports enjoyment, which is the indoor pool, somewhere in this area, we also should be able to satisfy the needs of this part of the city. Let me try to align it again, like so, and give it a test. One small section. Test again. Yeah, pretty much. So it is 270 meters to the school. If these guys will have their pedestrian paths connected, or when they will have those paths connected, I'm sure they will be able to reach that. Okay. I think as a backbone, as a skeleton of the main city, we are done here, guys. This city will supply industrial zone on the right hand side. As I said, phase 2 is to plan and build, of course, the district with high density buildings. I reckon it's going to be situated over here, diagonally from this city. This district will be focused primarily on the supply of workers to our bauxite processing and then aluminium production, which is yet to be planned, which is yet to be built as well. This brings me to the final thought of this episode. So I'm gonna look for a suitable day this week to make a live stream, which will be dedicated to construction and utilities planning. If I'll probably make a post in the community tab with the date and the time of that live stream. Come over if you would like to hang around, and you are welcome to watch the vote of that stream afterwards if you can't attend. I'm in a quite awkward time zone in New Zealand. Thank you very much for watching. I'm wishing you all a great week ahead and smooth end of the year, whatever you are busy with, and bye for now, comrades.